Zakat. In the fundamental pillars of Islam, there is zakat. Zakat is one of the fundamental pillar of Islam. In the Holy Quran, wherever there is the injunction of establishment of prayer, there is also the injunction for zakat. Its importance can be realized from the fact that in the verses of the Holy Quran zakat is associated with prayer, salah. Hence, it is mentioned in different places. And be steadfast in salah, prayer, and pay zakah. The literary meaning of zakat is purity. It is called zakat because the wealth is purified with the payment of zakat. As in certain cases, a person unintentionally earns wrong or uncertain wealth. This is the dirt of wealth which is cleaned with the payment of zakat. Allah mentions in the Holy Quran, "Take sadaqah, obligatory alms, out of their wealth through which you may cleanse and purify them, and pray for them. Indeed, your prayer is a source of peace for them. And Allah is all-hearing, all-knowing." The payment of zakat is not only conferred on the wealthy, but also it is the right of the poor. Allah has mentioned in the Quran, "And those in whose riches there is a specified right, for the one who asks and the one who is deprived." In one more place in the Quran, Allah has said, "He is the one who has created gardens, trellised and untrellised, and date palms, and crops with a variety of edibles, and the olive, and the pomegranate, some similar to one another, and some dissimilar. Eat its fruit when it bears fruit, and pay its due on the day of harvest, and do not be extravagant. Surely, Allah does not like the extravagant." There is a severe warning for those people who do not pay zakat in the Holy Quran. "O you who believe, many of the rabbis and the monks do eat up the wealth of the people by false means, and prevent them from the way of Allah. As for those who accumulate gold and silver, and do not spend it in the way of Allah, give them the good news of a painful punishment." On the day the wealth, will be heated up in the fire of Jahannam, then their foreheads, and their sides, and their backs shall be branded with it. This is what you had accumulated for yourselves. So, taste what you have been accumulating. A hadith mubarakah. The nation which does not pay zakat, Allah Ta'ala will afflict them with a drought. It is narrated from Hazrat Abu Darda that Prophet said, "Zakat is the bridge of Islam, or a high building. One who doesn't pay zakat cannot walk on Islam or is on the lower level in Islam. So whoever performs it can cross the bridge, and whoever withholds it will be detained beneath it." It is narrated from Hazrat Abdullah bin Muawiyah that the Prophet said, "There are 3 acts that if done, that person will taste Iman. Only worship Allah and have this conviction that none is worthy of worship except Him. And pay the zakat on his wealth, in such a way that his nafs is happy with it and convinces him, it does not stop him, and he should not pay the old, dirty and sick wealth through the payment of zakat, but middle one. As Allah does not ask you for your best wealth nor the worst one. It is narrated from Hazrat Jabir that Prophet said, "The person who has paid zakat of his wealth, his bad keeps on decreasing. For example, whatever bad or dirt is collected from the non-payment of zakat does not remain." It is narrated from Hazrat Ibn Umar that he has heard from Prophet that he used to say that, "Whoever believes in Allah and His Messenger, he should pay zakat on his wealth." For example, payment of zakat is a sign of iman and its non-payment the less of it. It is narrated from Abu Hurairah that Prophet said, "Whoever is the owner of gold and silver and he does not pay zakat, on the day of judgment fire tablets will be made. For example, those tablets that are actually made of gold and silver, but heated in fire so much, so these are tablets of fire. These tablets are going to be heated in hellfire, and these are going to be used to mark his side, forehead and back. Then these tablets will be separated from his back, and whenever these tablets will cool down, he will be returned to the original condition. This day will be the one which is equivalent to 50,000 years. Till the time that everyone's accountability will finish, and he will seek his path towards heaven or hell." Abu Hurairah, may Allah be pleased with him, reported, "The Messenger of Allah said, any person who possesses gold or silver, and does not pay what is due on it, for example, the zakat, on the day of resurrection, sheets of silver and gold would be heated for him in the fire of hell, and with them his flank, forehead and back will be branded. When they cool down, they will be heated again and the same process will be repeated during the day, the measure of which will be 50,000 years. This would go on, until judgment is pronounced among Allah's slaves, and he will be shown his final abode, either to Jannah or to hell." It is narrated from Hazrat Ali that the Prophet said, "Allah has made a certain right of payment of zakat from the wealth of the rich Muslims, which would be enough for the poor. Whenever the poor feel the pain of remaining hungry or naked, it is because of this act, not giving zakat, of the rich. Remember that Allah will take severe accountability from them on this, and will give them a terrible torment." It is mentioned in one hadith that the deserving people will complain to Allah on the Day of Judgment, that whatever rights He had made obligatory on them, they had not made those rights reach them. Allah will state, "By my might and glory, I will make you closer and move them away." It is narrated from Hazrat Abdullah bin Masud, "We were given the injunction to be regular in prayer and pay zakat. Whoever does not pay zakat, his prayer is not accepted also." It is narrated by Abu Hurairah, Allah's Messenger said, "The person whom Allah has bestowed with wealth, yet does not give its zakah, on the Day of Judgment, his wealth will be turned into venomous bald serpent with 2 black spots over the eyes, or 2 poisonous glands in its mouth, which will wind around his neck and bite his jaws and say, 'I am your wealth, I am your treasure.'" Then the Prophet recited the holy verse, "Let not those who covetously withhold It is narrated from Hazrat ibn Umar that Prophet said, "Namaz is an act that is revealed in front of everyone. So it was accepted, but zakat was hidden, so it was eaten. Salah appeared to them, so they accepted it, and zakat was hidden from them. So they refused it, did not give to those who deserved it. So such people are munafiq." It is narrated from Hazrat Abu Hurairah that the nation who stops paying zakat will afflict them with a drought. In another hadith it is that Allah stops rainfall on them. It is narrated from Hazrat Aisha that the Prophet said, "Zakat is never mingled with any property without destroying it." It is narrated from Hazrat Umar that the Prophet said, "Wealth is generally lost on the land and the sea because zakah is not paid on it." It is narrated from Hazrat Asma binte Mourid, that my Khala and myself went to meet with the Prophet, and we were wearing gold bangles, so the Prophet asked us whether we had paid zakat for these. We replied, "No." The Prophet said, "Aren't you scared that Allah will make you wear bracelets of fire? Pay its zakat. Do you wish that on the Day of Judgment, you be made to put on bangles of fire?" They replied, "No." He said, "Give zakah on them."